Welcome back to Twisted Tales. We are live now at our podcast and we are about to interact with our viewers and listeners, and where we delve into the darkest corners of literature and explore the chilling stories that haunt our imaginations.
And today, we're diving headfirst into a tale that's as unsettling as it is iconic. Get ready to question everything you thought you knew about the tradition, community, and the horrifying lands we might go to in the name of both.
We're talking about Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, a story that's been chilling readers for decades. And it's a story that's both simple and complex, a chilling exploration of blind obedience and the dangers of unquestioning conformity.
So, to all our listeners, grab your headphones, settle in, and prepare to be disturbed. Because in the world of the lottery, there's no escape from the chilling reality that lurks beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives.
And as always, we'll be back after the story to dissect every twist and turn every unsettling detail.
Join us as we unravel the chilling truth behind the lottery. Welcome back to Twisted Tales, where we dissect the dark corners of the literature and explore the chilling stories that haunt our collective imagination. Today, we're diving into Shirley Jackson's iconic short story, The Lottery. This story, folks, is a classic for a reason, and it is a chilling exploration of blind obedience, the dangers of tradition, and the terrifying potential of human cruelty.
Let's break down the plot, shall we?
Absolutely. We'll start with the exposition.
The story begins with a seemingly ordinary summer day in a small rural town. The villagers are preparing for their annual lottery, a tradition that's been passed down from generations.
But this tradition is anything but ordinary. It's here where the conflict emerges. The lottery is a ritualized public stoning, with the chosen winner being brutally murdered by their own community.
And the rising action is a slow burn. The villagers, seemingly ordinary folks, participate in the lottery with a chilling nonchalance. They draw slips of paper, their faces betraying no hint of the horrifying reality they are about to unleash.
You know, the climax, of course, is the moment T.C. Hutchinson, the unlucky winner, is chosen. The villagers, including her own family, turn on her with a terrifying, almost animalistic fervor.
And the falling action is a stark contrast to the rising tension. There's a sense of relief, almost a celebration as the villagers carry out the stoning. It's a horrifying display of dehumanization and the chilling power of mob mentality.
And you know its resolution? There is none. The story ends with a horrifying act of violence, leaving the reader with a profound sense of unease and a haunting question like, how could something so terrible be accepted as tradition?
The lottery is a powerful reminder that blind obedience to tradition can lead to unimaginable horrors, and it's a story that forces us to confront the dark side of human nature and the terrifying potential for cruelty that lies within us all.
And that is why this story continues to resonate with readers and listeners today. It's a timeless tale that speaks to our deepest fears and compels us to question the very foundation of our own belief.
I'm feeling the goosebumps after hearing the dark corners of human nature and explore the games we play, the rules we break, and the consequences we face.
Yes, Leah. But before that, let us take a look at our comment section here. Oh, we have someone here. Should I state her name?
Yes.
Okay. It's a message from Mr. D. Oh, Mr. Donald. He said that the idea that winning can come at a cost so high, it can feel like losing your life. Yeah.
Next, think about it, Donald, if that's your name, and we are constantly striving, competing, pushing ourselves to the limit to achieve success, to win. But what if that winning, that achievement, comes with an unspoken price tag.
That's exactly what Shirley Jackson's chilling short story, The Lottery, explores. It's a story about a small town with a tradition so deeply ingrained, so unquestioned, that it becomes a horrifyingly mundane ritual.
And the prize? The winner is chosen to be stoned to death. Oh my God.
And it is a stark reminder that even in the most seemingly peaceful communities, a dark undercurrent can exist too. A hidden game with rules that defy logic and morality.
And that's where T.C. Hutchinson comes in. The light of the family, as the story describes her, becomes the unfortunate winner of the lottery.
You know, the story doesn't shy away from the chilling reality of the situation. TC, a seemingly ordinary woman, becomes the embodiment of the price of winning.
It's a powerful message, Arjane. It forces us to question the very nature of winning. What if our pursuit of success, our relentless drive to be the best, comes at the cost of our humanity, our compassion, our very lives?
And that's the question we leave you with today, listeners. And is winning truly worth the price?
And we've got a ton of questions from our listeners ready to dissect this unsettling story with us. Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
The first question comes from Lovejoy, who asks, how does the story makes us question the nature of tradition and its impact on morality?
So that's a fantastic question, Lovejoy. The story highlights how tradition, even when deeply ingrained and seemingly harmless, can blind us to the inherent wrongness of an act. The villagers blindly follow the lottery despite the growing unease and even outright objections from some. This suggests how easily we can be swayed by the comfort of the familiarity, even when it leads to horrific consequences.
And what about the question of individual responsibility? It comes from a dump account, Arjane, and his name is Curious Mind 17. He asks, did the villagers have a moral obligation to resist the lottery, even if it meant risking their own safety?
Okay, am I going to answer that?
Yes,
okay.
Arjane, please.
This is where the story gets truly unsettling, Leah. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that our own survival often takes precedence over our moral compass. The villagers, despite their discomfort, ultimately choose to participate in the lottery, fearing the consequences of defying the tradition, and it is a chilling reminder that even in the face of injustice, the instinct of self-preservation can be powerful.
And let's hear from Risty Ekan, who asks, how does the story's ending with Tessie Hutchinson's tragic fate contribute to the overall message of the story?
Okay, you know, the ending is truly gut-wrenching, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It underscores the story's central message, which is the potential for evil resides within all of us, even in seemingly ordinary people. Thesis' desperate pleas for fairness and her sudden transformation into the victim of the lottery highlight the fragility of human morality and the ease with which we can succumb to the mob mentality.
And it's a powerful reminder, isn't it? That even in the face of injustice, we must find the courage to speak out and challenge the status quo, even if it means risking our own safety.
The story has also sparked a lot of discussion, and we are excited to unpack it with all of you. We are also ready to delve into the characters, symbolism, and the story's unsettling impact.
Let's start with the most talked about character, Tessie Hutchinson. She is described as social and friendly, but we see a stark shift in her behavior as the lottery unfolds. What do you think about her transformation?
It's fascinating how TC goes from being a seemingly ordinary participant to someone consumed by fear and anger. Her initial tardiness, her casual banter, and her sudden outburst, it all paints a picture of someone who's comfortable with the tradition until it directly affects her.
Oops, exactly. And it's even more unsettling when we consider her fear turning into anger and then into panic to shock. She's not fighting against the lottery itself, but rather for her own survival. That's a powerful statement about the nature of fear and how quickly it can turn into self-preservation.
Let's move on to Bill Hutchinson. So, he's described as stoic, almost passive in the face of the lottery. And what do you think? What do you make of his character? What do you think of his character, Leah?
I think Bill's stoicism is a bit perplexing. He doesn't seem to actively oppose the tradition, but neither does he seem to be fully on board. He's almost like a bystander, accepting his fate without much protest.
Oh, so it's almost as if he is resigned to the lottery's inevitability. His silence speaks volumes about the power of tradition and the fear of going against the grain.
Now, let's talk about Mr. Summers. He's the one who oversees the lottery, and he's portrayed as outgoing and cheerful. But is he truly a benevolent figure?
You know, Mr. Summers' cheerfulness is a bit unsettling. He is almost too enthusiastic about his ritual, almost as if he is enjoying the fear of, he is enjoying the fear and anxiety it creates. It makes you wonder if he's truly aware of the cruelty of the tradition or if he is simply blinded by its long-standing presence.
His role as the efficient facilitator of the lottery emphasizes how easily tradition can be normalized, even when it's inherently harmful.
And finally, we have Old Man Warner, the epitome of resistance to change, and he is dismayed by any attempt to question the tradition, and he is adamant in clinging to the past.
Old Man Warner's stubbornness represents the dangers of blind adherence to tradition. He's unwilling to even consider the possibility that the lottery might be wrong, and that's a dangerous mindset.
Yeah. His fear of change is a stark reminder of how easily tradition can become a prison, preventing progress and critical thinking.
Now, let's talk about the symbolism in the story. The stones, the black box, and the Hutchinson's family all hold significant meaning. And what do you think they represent?
The stones, of course, are the most obvious symbol. They represent the brutality and violence of the lottery, the literal instruments of death. But they also represent the collective participation in this ritual, the willingness of the community to perpetuate this harmful tradition.
Now, the black box, on the other hand, represents the blind acceptance of tradition. It's old, worn, and shrouded in mystery, reflecting how the lottery's origins and purpose have been obscured over time.
And what about the Hutchinson family? Of course, their name, which sounds like Hutchinson, evokes a sense of being different, right? Being singled out. Their fate ultimately represents the randomness and absurdity of the lottery, the way it can strike anyone, regardless of their character or contributions to the community. And this story really gets under your skin, doesn't it? It's so deceptively simple on the surface, but the themes it explores are so complex and disturbing.
Absolutely. And we've had some fantastic questions and comments from our listeners. Let's jump right in.
Okay, we have here commenter 1. He said or she said, I just can't wrap my head around the idea that the villagers would willingly participate in this ritual. It's barbaric. Okay.
Oh my God, that's a very nice idea. For commenter number 2, he or she said that, right, it's like they have completely lost their humanity. It's a powerful point and one that many of you have brought up. Arjane, My partner here at my right side, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, Leah. It's a question of tradition versus morality.
Oh, nice critical thinking.
Yeah, the villagers are so deeply entrenched in this ritual. They have accepted it as a necessary part of their lives, and they have even normalized the violence, which is truly terrifying and which is very sad. And here is commenter 3. He or she said, I think it is also about fear, yeah. And he said, or she said, continue. They're afraid of what might happen if they break the tradition. Yeah,
That's a great point. The story doesn't explicitly state what would happen, but the villagers seem to believe that bad things will happen if they don't participate.
Yeah, and the fear is what keeps them in line. It's a powerful tool, and it is one that has been used to control people throughout history. And here is commenter number 4. He or she said, but what about the price? Is it really worth risking someone's life? What do you think, Leah?
That's a question that's been on everyone's mind. The story doesn't explicitly state what the price is, but it's implied that it's something that benefits the entire village.
Yes, it's a classic example of the greater good argument. The villagers believe that sacrificing one life will bring prosperity to the rest. And here is commenter 5. He or she said, but is that really morally right?
That's the biggest question, commenter number 5, isn't it? Is it ever okay or fine to take a life even if it's for the greater good? I'm also asking.
It's a good question that has no easy answer, and that is one that we are still grappling with today.
And what could be your idea with this, Arjane? Is it the way that we should respect their tradition?
I think respect is what we need or what we should do.
Because we always have a different perspective in life, and that's
tradition.
Next comment, RJ.
Okay, here is commenter 6. He or she said, I also wonder about the legal implications. Is there any legal framework that would support this kind of ritual? Oh, answer, Leah.
That's a great question. I'm not a lawyer, but I have basta. And one that we can explore from a modern perspective, perhaps.
Okay, in our world, this ritual would be considered as a crime, and this present time, it would be considered murder, and the villagers would be held accountable for their actions.
Right, and it's a reminder that just because something is tradition doesn't mean it's right.
Yes, and here is commenter number 7. He or she said, I also think the story is about the human capacity for evil. We are all capable of doing terrible things, even if we don't want to believe it. Yeah, and that's a powerful observation, commenter number 7. The story shows us that even in the most ordinary of settings, darkness can lurk beneath the surface.
We have had some wonderful insights from our listeners today.
Yeah, and it's been a truly thought-provoking discussion.
And it's a reminder that even in a simple story can hold profound meaning. And thank you for joining us on Twisted Tales, and we'll be back next week with another classic tale.
Until then, keep reading, keep thinking, and keep sharing your insights.
Bye!